shadows of the trees he saw it, a towering 7 to 8 foot tall figure with glowing yellow eyes. Its appearance resembled Anubis, the Egyptian deity. The creature stared at them like a predator sizing up prey, emitting a low growl before disappearing into the woods. Terrified, they fled. When my brother recounted this, his reaction alone was enough to convince me of his sincerity. He described how the entity seemed to guard the area as if it were its territory. My brother and I even considered setting up trail cameras to capture evidence, but we never followed through. This wasn't the only encounter tied to that factory. Years prior, while studying biology, my professor took us to that very location. During the lesson, he casually warned us, "Don't come here at night." Intrigued, I pressed him for details. Eventually, he shared stories from other students who had heard eerie laughter or seen shadowy figures lurking in the distance. Another chilling experience happened to my girlfriend. While working in a remote area of Cape May, she encountered a creature unlike anything she'd ever seen. On all fours, it stood 5 feet tall, far too large to be a coyote or regular wolf. She described it as a canine on steroids, with pointed ears and a predatory demeanor. When it spotted her, she screamed, scaring it off. Later, we discussed these encounters, and she started to believe it might have been a juvenile version of the Dog Man, a cryptid often reported in such areas. Adding to the strangeness, I recently saw something massive and wolf-like cross the road while driving near her home. She had a similar experience just days before. These experiences have shaped how I see the world. While I try to approach life logically, events like these make the unknown all too real. Whether cryptids, spirits, or something else entirely, they remind me that some things defy explanation, and that can be truly terrifying. A few years ago, my friend and I decided to visit a supposedly haunted location, a derelict factory deep in the woods. The first time we went, nothing unusual happened, so we thought it would be fun to return, this time just before sunset, to explore more and take pictures. My friend was slightly ahead of me as we were leaving, planning to grab something to eat before coming back after dark. That's when I heard faint footsteps behind me. I turned around quickly, expecting to see a deer or something similar. Instead, I saw a large, solid white dog. It resembled a husky but looked too striking, almost otherworldly. Its green eyes captivated me, so vivid and beautiful that I found myself momentarily entranced. I tried calling the dog over, assuming it had wandered away from a nearby house. As I stepped closer, it calmly sat and stared at me. Then, in an instant, it dissolved into a puff of smoke and vanished. Startled, I called out to my friend, "Jay, tell me you saw that!" But he